Hello, cutlerylover here. Wanted to do a video on different ways that I like to make fire. Getting the obvious obvious methods out. Cheap dollar store lighters work fine for me, or Bics. Um, I am a huge Zippo fan, so it's not surprising that sometimes I'll just carry a Zippo to make my fire. Um, I'll probably do other videos on Zippos as far as repairing, replacing the wick, stuff like that. Maybe a small video on my collection. Your standard matches, regular stick matches. These always work. Simple. Waterproof matches, if you're worried about them being wet or in a damp environment, maybe a high humidity environment. These work great. You've seen my flint and steel video. This is a different kit. It's basically the same thing. It's a little bit of a fancier striker. I have two different kinds of flint in here, but it's all the same concept. Works the same way. Another primitive method I like to use is a fire piston. Although it's a primitive method, this is a modern fire piston. This is machined aluminum. It's two pieces: the plunger and then the housing. And I store it without. It takes an O-ring right in that crease there. I store it without the O-ring so I can keep it all the way down to keep it compact. But I'll carry the char cloth for it and the O-ring in this baggie. And what you do is you put the O-ring around here. You get a little grease, a little Vaseline, something to reduce the friction. And then you put your char cloth in that little the tip right there. Put a little piece of char cloth in there. Now this works. You just slam down, pull out, and then your char cloth should be lit. This works on the same concept as the diesel engine. In fact, the inventor of the diesel engine came up with this idea from seeing the fire piston. I believe I don't know offhand what kind of people use this. I know like different tribes in the jungle. I don't want to spew out information that might be wrong. But if you want to learn more about a fire piston, generally they're wider, usually made out of wood or buffalo horn. You can do a search on that Google search. Really interesting stuff. And again, once you have your lit char cloth, same thing as the fire and steel. You gotta put it into some kind of nest, some tinder, and supply it with oxygen, and you have fire. The next thing I have, which is very commonly seen, is a light my fire steel, and you have your striker and then your steel, and you've seen. I'm sure everyone's seen this on Survivor Man or Man vs. Wild, or even just some of the other YouTube videos. Really simple concept. Throw some sparks on some dry tinder and you got a fire. Working along the same exact concept is this, although in a much larger package. This is a Strike Force. How this works, pull this down here, pop this open, the cap, oops, kind of went backwards. Here's your striker, and here's your significantly larger rod. I mean, that's a big difference. But again, same concept, just a larger package. Strike on here, and then of course you have fire. This whole package here, see how the striker kind of fits into that groove right there, snaps together. The back here pops off, and there's what's called wet fire tinder. And I don't want to open this up, but there are little white blocks in here, and if these catch a spark, even soaking wet, you'll get your fire started. So you don't have to worry about the conditions so much with this. This is a little more expensive. The Light My Fire steel is about $10. This happens to just have the Kershaw logo on it. This is more in the $20 to $25 range, but I like variety, so I picked it up anyway. I don't normally carry this just because of the larger size. I can keep less things in my bag, so I like to just, most of the time, I'll carry the Light My Fire steel. Much easier. Smaller package. Another thing here that some people like to use is an aviation survival starter kit. It's called a Spark Light. Small little package here. Pop the top. You have paper instructions in here. You have your striker, which works like this. Okay, I'm doing you gotta do it the other way. See, they have arrows. There you get your spark. You throw your spark on this tinder, break it open a little bit, and then you get your fire started. Nice little package here, and the good thing is that the striker will always work, whether you have whether you run out of tinder or not. Of course, until the little flint in there ends up being used, but you get plenty of fires out of this. A nice small package. Because you have the tinder already, it's a little bit more of a benefit than just your fire steel. So you don't have to worry about what you're going to use for tinder. It's already supplied in this. So that's a nice little package. The next thing, commonly seen, a magnesium bar. These cost about $7. I actually carry this. It's called a flip it knife. This pops out here, and then the blade retracts back in. I carry this just for the strikers because I don't want to dull the edge of my the knife that I carry in case I have to use it for emergency situation. So I use this blade specifically just for this. And what you would do for this is you would shave off some of the magnesium into a nice little pile, and then just strike the pile. And of course, the magnesium would light, and you would add your tinder to it pretty quickly. This is good. This will last a long time. Some people have problems using this. I've seen people scrape this magnesium off, cutting like chunks off and stuff, all different kinds of ways. But it's pretty simple. If you buy one of these, just check out a bunch of different videos on people using it, just so you can see how to use it properly. Some people, instead of pushing down on this, I'm sorry, I'm doing the magnesium. I need to do the striker. Some people push down. People say that's no good because you're going to end up knocking your tinder all over the place. So instead, and same deal with the fire striker too, or fire steel rather. Some people will move the block upwards instead of moving the knife downwards. So you get the same effect by moving that upwards and keeping the pressure, but you're not going to knock your tinder pile all over the place. So that's a good little tip I saw on a YouTube video. The last item here is called a permanent match. There's some kid who has a video of this online on YouTube, and I found it interesting. I actually had one years and years ago. I still have it. It looks like a little flask. Unscrew the top here. Has an O-ring. You fill it with just standard lighter fluid. Although kerosene will work. A lot of different things will work in there as a fuel. And it's just a metal rod. Has a little bit of a striker on the end, and some material sticking out of the rod. And what happens is the material soaks up the fluid. You have your bar here, and all you do is you strike it, and then of course the fluid lights. This could be used over and over again, probably hundreds of times before the fluid runs out. And even when the fluid does run out, you still have just the striker for your tinder. So I find that to be pretty useful, and definitely a small package, as you can see in the hands. This can't be any more than, I don't know, 2 inches long by probably, I don't know, 1.5 inches wide. So these are great. I got this, to be honest, I don't really remember where I got this, but it was like $2. So I found it to be a good investment. A lot of times I'll throw this in my pocket if I don't want to carry my actual bag. So that's my video on different ways to make fire. I'll just spread out some of this stuff here. Some things I haven't told you or shown in this video is, of course, I'm sure you've seen it on YouTube already, the 9-volt battery and steel wool. That works great. Although I carry steel wool for tinder sometimes, I don't always have a 9-volt battery. Those are if you don't know, those are the kind of batteries that usually you'll have in your smoke detectors. Other primitive methods of making fire are the bow drill or the hand drill, stuff like that. Maybe in the future I'll make videos. I haven't really been able to practice that much just because of the fact that it's been cold out, but maybe I'll get some videos like that in the future. I hope you enjoy this video, all 10 minutes. Thank you for your time.